So to make people vote for it, there's a debate that has to go on. The Federalists really want people to vote for it. It's their plan. The Anti-Federalists hate it, and they don't want people to vote for it. So I talked about this a little bit, but to make sure you get it again, Federalists, they're for the Constitution. They want that big, strong national government. And then they wrote essays to persuade people to vote for it. These are called the Federalist Papers. You will want to know the Federalist Papers. They're papers written by Federalists. Shocking. All right, there are three people who actually write them. You can see I only have James Madison and Alexander Hamilton on here. That's because they wrote most of them. John Jay actually wrote a few of them at the beginning. He didn't do that much, so don't worry about knowing him. But know James Madison and Alexander Hamilton are the guys who wrote these. They were just persuasive essays, kind of like Thomas Paine's pamphlets, that were meant to influence people. All right. Against them, you have the Anti-Federalists, and they're people who are against the Constitution. The problem with the Anti-Federalists is they're not very united on this. All they're saying is, we don't like the Constitution. Some thought it has too much power for the federal government. Some even thought it didn't go far enough, and that the Constitution wasn't strong enough to the national government having power. So there's no really united stance on this. They all just know they don't like it. Well, the problem is if you don't vote for the Constitution, you're saying, let's stick with the Articles, which we all know are terrible. So it's kind of a toss-up there. So will it pass? Well, Virginia and New York say that they will not ratify it, it means officially approve it, until there's a Bill of Rights added to it to protect individual rights. So everyone has already signed it, but these states say we will not sign it until there's a Bill of Rights. So we need to know what the Bill of Rights is. The Bill of Rights is a collection of amendments or changes, that's what an amendment is, to the Constitution. So they're not going to sign the Constitution until we promise to change 10 things about it immediately, which is kind of funny. The purpose of the Bill of Rights is to protect personal liberties, personal freedoms. And you'll be learning all of the Bill of Rights next unit, and you'll learn a couple more amendments that'll be added on later. But so in 1790 they signed this, took 3 years because they had to make sure these rights would be protected. So all you really need to know right now about the Bill of Rights is that James Madison wrote them. Shocker, since he wrote most of the Constitution too. But these are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. That is the Bill of Rights. That's it. The past 200 years, we've only added 17 other amendments. So that means in that long, there have been 27 changes. Remember with the Articles, everyone had to agree to every little change. That's not like that with the Bill of Rights. It's a little bit different, easier to do, but still hard enough that you can't just change it all the time. All right? It's a tough cookie. To amend it, 2/3 of both houses, so the House of Representatives and the Senate, have to agree, or 2/3 of the states must propose it. So it can be proposed either way, 2/3 or 2/3. That's 66 2/3% of them, just so you know. So that's just to suggest the idea, because if you have less than that, the idea is not even on the table yet. Once you get that, then 3/4, 75% of the states must ratify it. So 3/4 of the states to make any change to the Constitution. Right, so it is a tough cookie. Why does it still work? The Articles failed. Why is this one better? It's because we describe it as a living, elastic document. It can change as needed, but isn't easy to change. So that's why I have rubber bands on here. It's flexible. The founders did not know everything that was going to happen. Apparently the Articles, they thought they knew everything, and so they made it really hard to change. The Constitution, they knew things will change over time, and we need to be prepared to change them. So they did make it bendable a bit. However, they didn't want it too bendable that it wasn't consistent, so they made it difficult to change. So there you go.